Can you believe this lettuce? This is just insane. I don't think I have ever gotten a lettuce head this big and this full. Welcome back. I'm Kathryn, the Aerogarden Homesteader, and wow, I thought I had a problem growing lettuce, but I wonder if I'm just going to have to take that off my problem list because holy cow, this is looking amazing. It is relatively cool downstairs, so hopefully it will keep it from bolting. Now, I have not been harvesting from these lettuce heads for probably the last week or so because I had some store-bought lettuce that I was trying to go through which was going bad, and since these ones are still growing, they are not going to go bad right away. I do have just a little bit of browning on some of these bottom leaves, but it's really minor compared to what problems I've had in the past. This thing is just insane. The poor cilantro is still my poor cilantro, but it is pushing out some good growth that I have been kind of harvesting. I do think that it might be starting to bolt. I'm not sure. Kind of puts out these fuzzier leaves when it's getting ready. But no, it's looking okay. I just haven't had time to start more. I just keep putting it off, and yeah, and this is what happens. It's still hasn't started growing the next batch, so. The perpetual spinach is looking really good. Again, I have not been harvesting this even though I could have and added it to my salads. I've just been really focusing on trying to get rid of those greens that are in my fridge that are going bad. So, yeah, this is looking pretty good. It's got some nice leaves coming in. It is also pushing out, it does push out like these little side growth leaves. So, yeah, I'm not sure how far down to harvest some of these leaves. And then, oh my goodness. These are just totally getting out of control. I mean, I don't know if you can see how big some of these leaves are. They are massive. Like, look at this one here. This is massive. I do notice that the ones that are coming in feel a little less tender than the ones that are underneath. So these are the ones that were put out first. And then, obviously these are newer leaves. The fan has been on for a while now, and it does feel slightly less tender. It's got a little bit more resistance to it. It's hard to tell, it's hard to describe what I'm talking about, but these leaves have been really, really soft, and the new ones are a little less soft, so the fan has been helping. This one is just totally overgrown. It is just insane. This poor one back here, I actually think that these Rosetta styles, they probably should only have 2 in a bounty. That third one is kind of lost in the back. So this one, it's a similar kind of Rosetta style. It's a different lettuce, but it's a similar Rosetta. And you can see that, yeah, they're growing into each other, but they're not, sharing space with the third one trying to push its way through. So I will show you how the peppers and cherry tomatoes are doing upstairs, and then I will show you how the outdoor garden is doing. And this is how the peppers and cherry tomatoes are doing up here. They are looking absolutely spectacular. I have some flowers that I have been helping to pollinate. I have been slowly taking off lower leaves to open this up for the side growth that is occurring. The cherry tomatoes, I think this is about as tall as it's going to get. My hope is that the tomatoes will actually be a little larger than the ones I was getting last time, so I guess we'll see. This one is still doing good. It has divided. It also has some flowers underneath. I don't know if you can see that one, but it's got some flowers forming. I do need to start taking off some of its lower leaves, and I have been slowly raising the lights, trying to keep sort of a halfway decent, 4 to 6 inches, depending. Kind of hard to keep up with them sometimes, but I do the best I can. But yeah, everything's looking great up here. I have been having a hard time keeping up with all these tomato flowers. Holy crap. There are just a ton of them. But I don't know when they'll be ripe. The ones outside have started ripening, but to be fair, these ones were started later, even though they're almost at the same stage. So I guess we will see. And finally, the outdoor garden is looking really good. It is a wild jungle of a mess, but I have more little shoots of broccoli coming out. This is the one I harvested that big one from, so it will push out little ones, so I could just snap these off and eat them in a salad. I have lots of tomatoes ripening up. There still seems to be more flowers forming, but not too many. So these might be, I'm pretty sure these are determinants because they're not that big. But my pumpkin, I don't know if you can see that on the ground, it's looking pretty good. The vine is actually continuing to grow along and into the tomatoes, so hopefully that won't become a problem. There's like 3 plants here, but they are, so far I think I've only got 1 ripening pumpkin in this area, although some could be hiding in the leaves. The tomatoes, actually these are potatoes, I don't know why I always get them mixed up. These potatoes are flowering like crazy. That probably means something, but I don't know what it means. I'm sure it means something. Too much water, not enough water, who knows. But hopefully I will be able to harvest some potatoes soon because I have some more sprouting in the kitchen. This one is going insane. It just climbed all the way up to the top of the trellis, and it's actually started hanging back down over this way. So I could lift this one up again, or I can at least just pass it through so it's supported on its way down. Do have some pollinators, which is awesome. This one's looking pretty good, and there's actually a pumpkin hiding in this one. So that's pretty cool. The cucumber has finally come up off the ground, and I see that there are some of the flowers are open, but there are some, I thought I saw them the other day. There were some female flowers in here that I could see, oh there we go, starting to form. They're not open yet, but they're forming, so that's pretty cool. And it's working its way up the trellis as well. Over here, so I did have a bit of a slug infestation. So I had to pull off a lot of the leaves on this one, but hopefully it will perk back up and continue forming ahead. And then tomatoes, the basil, more broccoli. This one kind of bolted before I could get to it. This one's forming ahead finally. This one might, I don't think it's going to get much bigger. I think it's going to bolt as well. So I do wonder if I should have put climbing tomatoes, so the indeterminate variety, on this trellis just to help protect the broccoli a bit more, because as you can see the broccoli is actually taller than the tomatoes. I do have a tomato starting to ripen. That's pretty good. And my, oh my gosh, my dill. I'm gonna have to like tie that up. So I have been trying to come through and pull some of these ripe So I've been coming through and trying to pull some of these ripe mustard pods and harvest the seeds from it. So I actually have quite a few mustard seeds, which is pretty cool. More broccoli. I think I might actually take out some of these white strawberries and replace them with red strawberry plants. So some of my red strawberry plants are putting out runners, and I think this will be a good way to propagate the red ones because we need more red ones. And ducking through here, my cherry tomatoes have been doing really good. I think I might actually be able to get a nice big handful of these for my salad at lunch. Then more pumpkin. And then I've got my sunflowers. I have some extra edamame seeds that I sprouted, and I'm thinking of actually just putting them along this trellis here and seeing how they do. But I need to wait until the sprinklers are going to run because I don't want to just whack them in the ground and then have them wilt because no water. And finally, I have some zucchini growing. There's one on this side. And then, go around on the other side. There's another one kind of popping up through the middle. That one might be hard to harvest, but we'll deal with it. Oh, there's another one back there. There's another one up here. Yep, the zucchini is doing its zucchini thing. And then I have a ton of these strawberry runners. Got to pull those out. Yeah, the wall of sunflower is actually looking pretty good. Got one leaning up against the fence. I need to fix that. They're going pretty tall, actually. So I'm going to keep an eye on them because once they start drying out, I want to harvest the heads before the birds get to them. And I got more tomatoes along here. Not sure what the varieties are because I labeled everything so well. Oh yeah, here. So these are the red strawberries. So these ones are not putting out runners right now. They are putting out a little bit of fruit. They were supposed to be an everberry, but hopefully they are. But the ones that I have over by the fence, those ones are red as well, and they're putting out a ton of runners. So I'm going to just let them put out a bunch of runners, and then I can move them. So I might leave this one as a dedicated white row, but I might take out the one that's over there and turn it into a red row, and then hopefully they will cross-pollinate. And so I don't know if I should move these red ones just to keep them separate from the white ones, because the white ones have been taken over like a weed. Kind of hoping if I give the red ones some space, they will also take over like a weed. But who knows? I mean, every plant is kind of different. So I still, believe it or not, have some green peas still putting out pods. It is just insane. So I've got like, I think I've got 3 plants that are still green. But, and I need to do this soon, I need to start sprouting some beans so that I can put them in the ground about where these peas are. And so then I can have some green beans over the fall. So that'd be really nice. And I can can some of those up and preserve those for later. And finally, this mint is starting to perk up a little bit. I just harvested a little bit. I don't know why the leaves went like that, but it's pushing out new growth that looks really nice. So that's good. I think that the chamomile is winding down. But I have been dropping some of the seeds, and I think all those little green sprouts are new chamomile. So hopefully I can get a second crop in. The catmint has gone to flower, so I don't know if I can actually harvest the flowers as part of the tea or not. But I've been kind of leaving it and just harvesting some of the side shoots. So here I've got some of these side shoots haven't gone to flower yet. So I'll go through and harvest some of those when they get a little bit bigger. Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it was a cat that was eating it. What else would eat catmint? Well, I mean, I guess other animals might enjoy catmint, but it has definitely been a little bit better since I put the tomato cage there to prevent it from jumping in this way, and I don't know if it has been trying to access it from the other side where the stairs are. The sage is looking awesome. The calendula is great. Keeps pushing out new flowers, so I just harvest the ones that I can catch while they're open. Then the mint in the front, I have been harvesting these as well. So it's got a tougher stem, and I don't know why, but it's got a tougher stem, and so I can only harvest like the delicate tips. I need to bring out scissors so I can harvest a little bit more further down. It'll help bush it out as well. And then these ones are doing okay. Mostly they're doing okay because I'm just not doing anything with them. So if I had been harvesting some of the basil, it would have made a bushier plant. Sort of the same thing with the thyme here. You know, if I had harvested it, it probably would have made a bushier plant, but I just don't have a good use for it. It's more for decoration at this point and for bringing in insects. These are the poppies, and I get the feeling they are going to drop a whole ton of seeds down here on the ground, and then I'm going to have a ton of poppies over here. I think as the pods dry out, I might pick them off and put them back up in the raised bed so that it will repropagate itself in the same location. I'm pretty sure the marigold will just drop its flowers, you know, its seeds right where it is because it's more upright. But, you know, I can always help that along as well. And then more sage. I think this poor pumpkin is not doing very well. And that, I'm not sure what that is. I put something there and I don't remember what it is. Yeah, labels. I need to put my labels in the ground. I think what happens is I have like several plants in a start pot. And so I just stick them in the ground and I only have one label for 3 plants. But yeah, it's kind of a weedy mess. It's kind of an herby mess, but I mean, this is just what happens with gardens. I hope you found this video useful. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'll have some videos linked at the end that you might also enjoy, and I will see you next time on the Aerogarden Homestead.